I'm here this evening to give my introductory speech for my speech class. So, Leo Tolstoy once said, "Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself." Leo Tolstoy lived from 1828 to 1910, and although he was born to royalty, he served in the army and witnessed brutal and tragic events which I believe changed him forever. But that's not really what changed his life for the good to make him memorable to us today. What changed him to make us memorable for us is he got an education. He went to several universities after he did his tour in the army, and he became a great author. So he was born in Russia, and his greatest work was War and Peace. So maybe some people here have heard of that. I believe it to be one of the greatest works of literature of all time. Since you're my family and already know me, I'm going to talk about an area of my life that you may not know. We have the power to change ourselves, and in the process of introducing myself, I would like to focus on my work history and how I am learning new skills to make me more marketable in the workplace. I will focus on my past work history, my present work, and my plans for future work. I have raised funds for charity, I've sold building materials, and I've managed in food service in a variety of ways. When I first met my wife, Sherry, I was involved in a religious charity in which I was paid to raise funds. No experience was necessary, and for this kind of work it pays very little. I wasn't qualified for anything else because I didn't have a college education. This brings me to my first real job. To become a wholesale building material salesman, I had to work my way up. I started out delivering building materials in a lumber company and learned the business from the bottom up. It took me 2 years to finally make salesman and get paid on commission, which was decent pay but not great. This is what you have to do if you don't get an education first. Then we moved from Florida to Indiana, and there weren't any building material positions available when I got up here. So I had to basically start over. So to become a catering supervisor, I once again had to work my way up. I started out as the supply gatherer for this catering company, which is the lowest job there. I learned this business from the bottom up, and it took me about a year to become a catering supervisor. The pay in this job wasn't great, but it really had good benefits and insurance. I also worked for a convenience store chain in which I worked my way up to become manager. In this job, I started out as night clerk because I was so good with people. I eventually was considered for management. Convenience store management does not pay that well either, but it was better than what I made as a night clerk. So that brings me to my present work. I'm in management at a fast food restaurant as an opening manager. I basically came here because the hours are flexible and there was an opening for an opener, which allowed me to get off at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I worked my way up to opening manager, which does not pay much, but again, it paid more than being a crew member. I used to supplement my income with my little mowing business, which I did on the side. Now I want to talk about my plans for the future. I am going to Ivy Tech now for an accounting degree because I'm having trouble with my feet and legs, and I need to get some kind of sit-down job. Not be on my feet 9-10 hours a day on the concrete. Getting this degree puts me in the position of being qualified for being hired as a bookkeeper or an accountant, or for doing taxes for somebody, like Hewlett Packard, or not Hewlett Packard, but these tax places that prepare taxes for people. I could get a job there.
H&R Block.
H&R Block, thank you. The audience is allowed to participate in a positive way. These are jobs you basically can't work your way up to, like I've done in the past. This makes an education an invaluable tool in my life. This brings me to the moral of the story and the lesson my life has to offer. By listening to Leo Tolstoy and following his great example, I am changing myself through education. This will give me the job that I could not get otherwise. If I had done this sooner in life, I could have started as a salesman instead of starting out as a laborer, and could have worked my way up to become the store manager or even higher. You know, I could have started higher. At the convenience store, I could have started out as a manager and worked my way up to a district manager or an executive of the parent company. And the same basically applies to the fast food restaurant I'm working at now. I could have started as an assistant manager or manager and worked my way up to become a district manager or an executive at their parent company. Education can bring a person out of poverty, improve your self-image, and make you an independent man or woman. Thank you.